राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय 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 राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram 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 Jai Jai Ram Om. Can the fan increase? Should I increase the fan? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai.
What does she say? Mataji's?
Guru's grace, Vishwamata Krishna.
Minute. So what? There? There what does she? In Guru's grace?
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
Huh?
Ram
So, what is the something?
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram 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 Jai
What is
Jai
it? Paradigm shift.
Shri
Shadribhuva.
Ram Jai Ram Jai
One second, I'll
Jai
make it
Ram
little bigger
Shri
size.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram
No matches.
Jai Ram
So that is not there.
Jai
Then
Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram
I don't think
Jai
she is there in that.
Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram
Krishna Bhai book or this one?
Both, she has written both the book.
Both if you
See,
By
Vishwamata
Krishna, Vishwamata Krishna Bhai. Shadribhu. There is no Shadribhu here. There is
I
no
am given to understand
no, no,
little bit from Guru's grace.
Shadribhu.
I think Guru's grace.
Ama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
Kama illa.
Ram Om
Krodha.
Krodha.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
There is nothing like
Last
that.
her, Swamiji.
You ask her.
Jai Jai
Which page?
Ram
Yes,
Om
Swami. We will switch on this
Ram
1 second.
Jai
I have to switch
Ram
on.
Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram
Paradigm
Jai
shift.
Jai Ram Om Shri
Shadribhu.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Loba.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
No
Om
matches.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Okay, you
Om
put that we will see later.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai
Something else has come.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Swamiji, Jayanti aunty, I had one question.
Saryam Swamiji.
Pranam, Pranam.
Swamiji, I have a question. What is the difference between bhakti and parabhakti? Then after that, one more question is there. Which is the most helpful in that?
Papa describes parabhakti as experiencing his presence in all manifestation. When he talks about spiritual journey, these are the 4 stages. Bhakti is the root. Here, I recognize that apart from me, I become I only because of his presence. So Bhagavan is there, only because of Bhagavan, I am here. When this comes to me, I am a bhakta. And the relationship between me and the Almighty is called bhakti. Then comes Vairagya. Bhakti is the root, Vairagya is the trunk. In a tree, first is the root. Root is the one which stabilizes its existence. And then you need not merely the roots, you need flowers and fruits. So for that there should be a stem. A stem is Vairagya. Vairagya means withdrawal from the fields of sense objects. When our priority is getting shifted to Bhagavan, our interest or our cravings toward the sense objects will become less and less. And then what happens is Purna Vairagya. Our only exclusive interest is Bhagavan only. Then comes Jnana is the flower. Then we try to go deep within ourselves because we have been able, so now we find it difficult because all our sense organs are going to their subjective sense objects. When that has been tamed and disciplined and controlled, it becomes fit enough to go to inward journey. And that inward journey will reveal to us that we are not what we assume ourselves to be, but it is that spirit, the Atman, which is the path of knowledge. And then we don't stop. According to Papa, the fruit is parabhakti. Parabhakti is the realization of his presence in all, not only the sense of individuality, but in all. So that is how he defines these 4 stages. Starts with bhakti. Bhakti is the relationship between the bhakta and the Bhagavan. And parabhakti is an ultimate state where his presence is felt everywhere.
How to get it from the
You have to go to travel, From Bangalore, how will you get to ashram? You have to travel. all details have been given by Mahatmas. You have to get into the train, you have to go to the station, buy a ticket, get into the train, travel, get down at Kanhangad, take an auto or a taxi, reach ashram. No?
So
So,
the end is coming. When we will get?
When will we get?
when we will get? When we start traveling.
The end is coming for me.
No, doesn't matter. Even if our what do you call his assignment before it is over through us, he will take us. All that it requires only 1 minute. 1 minute we try to realize that we are that. That is the journey. That is why in this journey, the starting point and the ending point is the same. Though outwardly it is called journey, finally when we reach, we have been told by Mahatmas who have scaled the heights that it is the same place. Because even to start, he has to be there. No? And we are searching for him. So finally the starting place and the ending place are one and the same. That is why it is called realization, not attainment. We are trying to realize his presence within. So now we know that first of all we have to develop a harmonious relationship with him, number one. Number two, to exclusively yearn for, aspire for, burning aspiration. We have to develop to become one with him. That can be done only when we try to bring back all the senses from its fields. Eyes want to see.
I'm asking to Papa.
No. It is not. We have to recede from the fields of sense objects. Then only the Vairagya is a must. Without self-denial, it is not possible. Without deep, intense aspiration, it is not possible. And these intense aspiration and the Vairagya, dispassion towards all this, that alone qualifies us to take to inward journey. Because the moment we try to inward journey to feel his presence, the thoughts take us away. Because of our preoccupation with various sense objects, it doesn't allow us to go within. That is why Vairagya plays an important part. Not a forceful one, but Vairagya comes out of the realization of the need to recede from. Kurmanganiva, he has said that in Bhagavad Gita, while he was explaining about Sthita Prajna, he says, like a tortoise, we have to withdraw. We have to withdraw from the various fields if it is going to enslave us. If it doesn't not enslave us, it is all right. But in our case, we get enslaved. Today, when we take payasam, the payasam is brought. Immediately, the tongue will demand a good sight. Immediately, the eyes will demand a good song or something like that. Good sound. Ears will demand. Like that, all the sense objects are demanding our sense organs. With the result, we cannot go within. So when we shift our priority from the sense objects to the indwelling reality, and where we may fail, we may forget. 100 times or 200 times we may fail. But with perseverance and commitment to the ideology, we will try to move towards that. And we have been assured by Papa and all Mahatmas, even Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, that we will be able to realize his presence within.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Swamiji, I have sent one doubt.
Okay, 1 minute. Before that, Jayanti Amma, is that clear?
No, Swamiji, Parabhakti is not clear.
Parabhakti is not clear.
So then Parabhakti means an outcome of when we realize that we are not what we assume ourselves to be. And we are that. Automatically, when the moment we open our eyes and interact with the objects, emotions, thoughts, situations, persons, suddenly we see it has emanated from that only. In other words, it is the expression of the same Atman. Now if we start discussing about it, it is only intellectual. So we will now try to travel with Bhakti, Vairagya and to Jnana. The other one is the outcome. Why should we now discuss about the outcome? It will automatically come, If we discuss about outcome, it is only academic knowledge. But we are sure to get the outcome when we are steadily on this path. And however much we try to read or understand from others, it will be only an academic knowledge. So let us try to start from we have bhakti towards him. So far we thought, we were asking for material gains. Now we are asking him to bestow us or bless us with realization of his presence within.
Yes,
And then he will demand the price. The demand is exclusive direction towards him. So then we keep on praying. As we keep on doing nama, bhajans, swadhyay, the biographies of masters, and when our mind is preoccupied fully with all these things, slowly we will find the hold of the sense objects becoming less and less. To that extent we will be able to direct it towards him. And then one day he will definitely bless us with his presence, with the awareness of his presence, with the awareness of his presence within us. Again, when we pursue, Papa says, it will lead to Parabhakti. Okay?
Okay. Hari Om.
Yeah. Padmaji.
Hari Om Padmamma.
Yes, Swami, yes, Mataji.
Where did you find that in Guru's grace?
Chapter 19, page 84 in my book.
1 minute.
Clash of opposites.
Pairs of opposites.
Clash of opposites.
Clash of opposites. O all-pervading Papa, in spite of your having given me the experience of bliss from the knowledge that you and I were one, and that the whole universe was myself and mine, I did not experience such bliss and peace while I was engaged in work as I did while sitting or lying down. I asked myself the question, how is it that I cannot feel the same joy while I am engaged in work as I get while I quietly sit doing no work? If the two states...
Third page in this chapter.
Third page in that chapter.
It's all right, we will read that. No, this will give us the background.
Okay.
How is it that... if the two states, that is rest and activity, did not synchronize, rest and activity, if it does not synchronize, I feared I might fall back into the same state as I had when I was at Dharwad. Rest and activity. O Papa, the ocean of grace, when you had kept me body conscious, even though I did not know who I was, while I was doing work for my own sake, I felt that my body, I, and the work were the same. While I was doing work for my own sake, I felt that my body, I, and the work were the same. So I pray to you to give me the experience which would enable me to maintain, while I am active, the same joy I had while I was oblivious of the external world through oneness with you. O infinite Papa, as I did not have so much joy in activity as in inactivity, sometimes I used to see faults in you, such as that you loved some greatly, you did not at all love some others. When some committed any mistake and you used to scold them, but would not scold others who committed the same mistake. In some cases, you showed preferences by giving them what they wanted without their asking for it, whereas in other cases, you were not giving even when they asked for it. When some were laid up with illness, you were taking very care of them. On the other hand, you were totally indifferent to others in the same condition. When I noticed such differences in you, I would object and raise a controversy with you. O all-pervading Papa, whenever you read the Puranas, if I heard any censure of women who were held responsible for obstructions in the way of men's sadhana, and any passing references to the weaknesses of women, I would get enraged and would say that just as women were a hindrance, so also men were a hindrance to women in their sadhana. In fact, there is little justification for either men or women criticizing each other adversely. The downfall of either is solely due to his or her own mental weaknesses. I further debated with you that if one possessed intense desire to realize oneness with you, nobody could stand in one's way, be it a man or woman. O Papa, the ocean of kindness, I was strongly opposing your viewpoint when you held out before us the qualities of a jnani, such as compassion, forgiveness, and peace, but at the same time speaking of the opposite qualities found in an ajnani. I would contend that even jnanis possessed the qualities which you saw in ajnanis. I argued that it was not wrong that there should be in the jnani the qualities of ajnani. In the jnani, there should be all qualities. If not, he cannot be perfect. Since the jnani is everything and beyond everything, how could it be possible for him to have only good qualities and still be perfect? Although during puja, the right hand is used, considering it to be more auspicious, it is not possible to do namaskar to God without using also the left hand. You made me use my good qualities to draw my mind within in order to merge in you. You made me also use my bad qualities, the 6 enemies, to subdue the outgoing tendencies of the mind instead of using them against others. O Papa, the giver of bliss, before you made me one with you, you showed me that the various modifications of desire, wrath, greed, attachment, pride, and envy, the complete leela of these 6 enemies. Thereafter, you directed my desire and wrath, which are pursuing perishable happiness, to flow toward the imperishable happiness. So my desire was transformed into an intense longing to realize your infinite and eternal being. Whenever any obstacle presented itself within me against the fulfillment of my desire, anger became a help. The greed that obsessed me when I was of the world aided in not minimizing to the least extent my intense longing to become one with your infinite being. The attachment I had at first for my relatives now rushed like a stream towards your eternal being. O all-pervading Papa, when my keen longing to realize you increased in vigor, the pride in me which was there before gave place to divine intoxication through unceasing communion with your being. When I was trying day and night to merge myself in your being, any thought of the world would drag the mind to the lower levels. Whenever any thought other than of yourself entered the mind, I would feel envious of you. Okay. Now, from this reading we have learned that there has been a constant effort on the part of Mataji. That means she was on the journey. Whereas we are trying to understand the journey sitting where we are, no? She was denying, she was undergoing, she was imposing so many things on herself, and she was literally on a journey, whereas we are trying to understand intellectually. These are all the outcomes of our journey. however much we give start explanation, it will not help us. That is the anger, now the anger in me, at the me and mind level. The same anger will help me to reach him. How will we reach him? When I feel totally discontented, I am struggling, I take him into task, Virodha Bhakti. This, however much we say, can we have a taste of it? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madhamasarya, each and every such so-called labeled negative tendency, the moment we attach it to the inward, the indwelling reality, because I did not ask God to give me Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. He gave it to me. So if He has given to me, there is a purpose behind it. Because I did not know the right use of it, I started channelizing to the sense objects. With the result that I am away from Him. But when the whole thing is directed towards Him, my intensity becomes more and more stronger. So again, this is purely an experiential realm. It is not the knowledge level. Mataji was explaining from her own, no? When she was resting, when she was active. That was her experience. And she was debating herself within. To her, Papa was the indwelling reality, so she was debating himself. And when she saw, then this clash of opposites were having the tug of war in her mind. And finally, now when we read, when she was directing everything towards him, she did not find it as a hindrance. So at the relative level, all these things may be there. It need not necessarily be there, but it may be there, but it will not have any impact. So once we put ourselves on the journey, and when we start receding from the sense objects, all these things will become probably clearer to us. Because at the moment, our mind is fully preoccupied with sense objects. We are talking about God or Atman only at the intellectual level. What has been heard, what has been read. So we have not really, to be very frank and to be very blunt, we have not started yet the journey. The mind may be telling us that we have started the journey. No. We have been preparing. Papa, you remember the words, Papa? How long will you be preparing? You have to take the leap. If we go through gospel, probably we may be able to see. Papa has been telling this. So the preparing, all these intellectual exercise, reading and asking ourselves, finally results in what? Have we made a real? If we have made a real step in our journey, we will not be, to be very frank, we will not be seeking any answer from outside. The moment we seek an answer from outside, the mind has gone out unknowingly. However much we dwell on the indwelling reality, it is still objectified. Whereas this is the very subject. The doubt comes from where? No? The doubt is expressed because of the presence of the subject. So because we are objectifying God, we are trying to find out the ways to reach Him. So better, instead of now, let us try in our own way, whatever is possible. In our case, intense chanting of His name with total faith and devotion, having simple living habits, constantly dwelling on God dimension in all that we see, trying. We may fail, but we will not leave it. Right from the minutest Right from the moment we get up in the morning, right from the minutest to the grossest, we will make an attempt putting ourselves on a journey. Mataji, clear-cut, in clear-cut words, unambiguous way, she used to sell like a child, this is Papa, this is Papa, this is Papa, Even a flask is Papa, table is Papa, laptop is Papa, amplifier is Papa, like that. She was telling us not because she wants to express, she wants us to learn this, right from the tiniest object that is before you. Try to identify with that indwelling reality. Initially, okay, because Mataji said we are obliged. Then we try to go within. So our Swadhyay or books of masters will definitely help us in getting a clear picture of the journey to be started. But we have to start the journey. Today, while coming to Centenary Hall, it so happened that the prompting came. The most essential thing for a sadhaka is to go to the source. Dwelling always on the source. So the 5 stanzas that have been picked up in Bhagavad Gita throws light. Yesterday also we shared one or two. Because in one sloka he says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smridijnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in the hearts of all living beings and from me come all those things. Okay, then. Mamupetya punarjanmam. He says, Bijam mam sarvabhudanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhivadamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. O Arjuna, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect of the intelligent and the splendor of the glorious. When we are trying to understand the Shadribhus as our main roadblock, it is not the main roadblock. It is because I am there, So when the I tries to know its own source, will these become a problem? Kindly think about it. We will go through that 5 slokas and try. So the first is Bijam Mam Sarvabhudanam Viddhi Partha Sanadanam Buddhir Buddhipatamasmi Tejas Tejasvinamaham Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrade Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the supreme goal of all living beings, and I am also their sustainer, master, witness, which were not known to us till then. Abode, shelter, friend. Now, I am the origin. I am the origin, end, and resting place of creation. I am the repository and eternal seed. Seed, only from the seed sprouts the creation, no? So we are a creation. There is a seed behind this. We are thinking about the seed in a different matter, but now Lord clears that. Now the intellectual knowledge he gives, now we are praying him to realize. Next, Yachavi Sarvabhudanam Bijam Tataham Arjuna Natasti Vina Yasyad Maya Bhudam Characharam. Again he clarifies. I am the generating seed of all living beings. O Arjuna, no creature moving or non-moving can exist without me. Very important slogan. Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tataham Arjuna natasti vina yasyad maya bhudam characharam. I am the generating seed of all living beings. O Arjuna, no creature moving or non-moving can exist without me. And in this I, everybody can substitute according to their taste, temperament and aptitude. As Papa's children, we can say Ram. Ram stands for subtle and mysterious power. The subtle and mysterious power is the generating seed of all living beings. No creature moving or non-moving can exist without that subtle and mysterious power. Then, Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavandiyaha Tasam Brahma Mahadyoni Aham Bija Pradapida. Beautiful. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavandiyaha Tasam Brahma Mahadyoni Aham Bija Pradapida. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. We are remembering Mataji's words, Characharam, even he says, the all species of life, before that he said, non-moving or moving. When she says, this is Papa, that is Papa, nobody could understand. And somehow God did not make us to probe deep into it. But now He is taking us. Unless and until you try to know the source, the problem will still remain with you forever. That is why in the first chapter of Glimpses of Divine Vision, He says, go to the source of your and the world life. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tatho bhavati bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tatho bhavati bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. So we all owe our origin to Him. We have forgotten this connection and feel that our sense of individuality with body, mind, intellect is the starting point of our life. And when this I is the starting point, all these down-pulling forces are termed as the roadblocks for us. So indirectly the Lord says, once you know me as the source of all, including yourself, all other things become unimportant. Because everywhere we will see that. Even in the so-called down-pulling forces, so-called labeled, there are no down-pulling forces. So-called labeled down-pulling forces also we will find. Our journey starts from me and mine. We will not be able to understand this. So the entire our effort should be, while taking to chanting of Ram Nam, kindly connect me to yourself, please. Otherwise the mind or intellect keeps on churning and taking that under that pretext, it is taking me away from you. Whereas my only aspiration should only be to realize your presence, becoming aware of your presence within me. because of the ignorance of your existence in me, everything starts from me as the subject, this body, mind, intellect complex as the subject. Rest of everything is considered as objects, including you. When your presence is taught to me by Shastras and Mahatmas, still, as my journey starts only from me to me level, I still objectify you. I have never understood that you are the very subject. So these 3 or 4 stanzas, when we dwell deeply, we intellectually get convinced that it is from him that the so-called me has also sprouted, and the entire world. I have read this, I have understood this, but enable me to feel your presence within. Let me not objectify you. All these years I have been searching for you because you are an object to me. Why? Because my journey starts from the me and mine. The fundamental mistake you made me to commit. And now you are making me to slowly realize that this is the fundamental error. Unless and until I turn within, I will not be able to reach or move towards you. So in order that our journey, inward journey, becomes more and more intensified, so that all our questions will get answered, I must go back to the source. With that background, if we go through Guru's grace again, it will become clearer and clearer to you. Because to us, even when Mataji's words are being read or heard, we have in our mind a concept about God, concept about the indwelling reality as an object. So long as that persists, we may not be able to move towards him. Kindly think about it. This is how he prompts us now. Today, as we were about to come here, the prompting comes, concentrate on the origin. All our sadhanas, again, we shift our attention to the objects, whether he is a Mahatma or a Shastra or a deity or a ritual, everything is an object. That is why Papa, in a blunt way, used to say, not to shake anybody's faith, but he went, after a certain stage, even the Guru becomes a hindrance. In the sense, somehow to take us out. As we are proceeding within, the thought of anything, it takes us away from our journey. So with that object, we will again go through the 4 slokas. Those who have in their houses, kindly take back this and look into it and start pondering and praying to him to give us more and more clarity. The first one is chapter number 7, sloka number 10. Bijam mam sarvabhudanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhipatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Chapter number 7, sloka number 10. O Arjuna, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect of the intelligent, the splendor of the glorious. Chapter number 9, sloka number 18. Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrad Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijamavyayam. He is narrating everything in the way in which we can understand. I am the supreme goal of all living beings. And I am also their sustainer, Bharta. Prabhu, I am the master. Sakshi, witness. Nivas, the abode. Sharanam Suhrid, I am the shelter. I am the friend. Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam, I am the origin and the end. Sthanam Nidhanam, resting place of creation. I am the origin, end and resting place of the creation, this world outside. No? And then Bijam Avyayam, I am the repository and eternal seed. From thing everything has sprouted. Chapter number 10, Shloka number 39. Yachavi sarvabhutanam bijam tataham arjuna na tadasti vina yasyad maya bhutam characharam. Very important. Kindly note down. Chapter number 10, Shloka number 39. If you just hear and leave it, no. Again the questions will haunt us. But we have to start our journey somewhere. These are the clues Papa is asking us to draw from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He says, I am the generating seed of all living beings. I am the generating seed of all living beings. No creature moving or non-moving can exist without me. Then, chapter number 14, Shloka number 3. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavandiya tasam brahma mahadyoni aham bija pratapita. He says, it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavandiya tasa brahmam mahadyoni aham bija pratapita. It should be understood that all species of life are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. And then, chapter number 14, Shloka number 4. Mamayonir Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham Sambhava Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it, I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. Mamayonir Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham Sambhava Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. My womb is the real Brahman. In it, I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. These 5 stanzas, there may be some more, we were guided only to these 5 now. So these 5 throw more and more light on our origin. And no external aid can help us to take to this journey. Why so? Because the journey itself is facilitated by the power. Just as the eyes cannot see the power behind the seeing, it is only by realizing the power By what? Only by inward journey we can put it. Then the question comes, me as an individual, I am trying to go inward. Sorry. So long as you feel you are taking the journey, you will not. Because he is there right from the start of the journey, no? So we pray to him. You gave me a sense of individuality. You made me to see everything as objects. And you made me to feel that I am the subject. Rest of the things are objects. And you gave me 5 sense organs by which I have been indulging, seeing, perceiving, feeling, thinking, experiencing. With the result, I hardly understand that you are behind it. Because I am fully preoccupied with these activities. When I am seeing an object, the entire thought is preoccupied with the process of seeing. I don't direct the power behind the seeing. I have not trained myself. So the limited I and the sense objects only remain with me. I hardly recognize the presence of the power behind the sense objects. This is the problem I am facing, kindly save me. Eyes are praying to him to become aware of the power behind the eyes, no? At least he has now pushed us to that stage. So far with the eyes we were trying to find out the power. Whereas it is because of the power only the eyes function. So how can the power see the power behind the seeing? In Kenopanishad, this is exactly, the words are there.
Swamiji, when we are so very helpless, we are in no position to do anything.
Cry.
Why is he making us
Cry, weep.
helpless?
Papa cried, He will make us to cry because we thought, we will be able to do this with this knowledge, with this mind, with this intellect. Now when he makes us know that all these things cannot help us unless he himself comes out and says, come on, turn towards me. For that we have to prepare our mind and turn towards him. In the first line of In Quest of God you will find that. What is that word? Huh? We are supposed to have done in-depth study, Where is relief, where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. The cry was heard. For nearly a year, Ramdas struggled on in a world full of chaos, anxieties and pains. It was a period of terrible stress and restlessness, all of his own making. In this utterly helpless condition, full of misery, where is relief, where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas, heart's cry. Initially when we read, we couldn't understand. We cry, no doubt about it. Tears come out when the mental pain is there, pangs are there. But is it a heart's cry? Coming from the bottom of the heart, totally feeling helpless. Only when that comes, we will know that it has been heard by him. It is an intuitive feeling, So Papa here says, the cry was heard. And from the great void came the voice, despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. He made us to go through this in-depth study to bring this idea. So the heart's cry ultimately zeroes to what? Our own intense aspiration. What is that quotation? Discontentment. So much time. Every day we are coming here.
We should not be discontented with the situation. We should not be discontented with the situation.
We should not be discontented.
With the situation in which He places us. With the situation.
With the situation which He places us. But that is half before the...
Okay. In which He places. Okay, that is okay. Then, that is the next one is important. But discontentedness there should be for not having sufficiently progressed on the spiritual path. And this is not a discontentment that is expressed outside. It is a discontentment that is cried and craved, aspired to Him who is within. Discontentment. You have provided everything. I am not content. I am not reaching you. I am not feeling your presence. Please give me a glimpse. You remember Mataji's words to Papa last, when she was sent out? Until Krishna Bai realizes the presence of Ramdas within, she will not see you. That was the climax. So far, she was everything. There was no other interest for her, but the form was an obsession for her. So Papa asked her to be away and said, only when you get established the presence of the indwelling reality, then you can come. So she was denying so many things. She said she would wander in the forest. She will deny food. And she said, until, even she did not say I, until Krishna Bai is able to feel the presence of Ramdas. Because Papa said, you should feel Ramdas in your heart and everybody's heart. Because Ramdas is not the body. Ramdas is the spirit behind the body, and that spirit has to be identified, that you should get stabilized in it. So Mataji wrote, unless he sees inside, she will not see you. Are we moving to that stage?
How are we supposed to reach?
There again we are asking,
How
huh?
are we supposed to reach there when we have not even started?
We have to start, From Bombay, if you want to reach Bombay ashram, you have to book the ticket, go to the station, get into the train. You will all other preoccupations are not recognized. You will prioritize this. You will not bother about anything. You will say, I have to go to ashram, I have to go to ashram, I have to go to ashram. So nothing else precedes. And then you are not merely telling that, you are booking the ticket, you are getting into the train, and then when you are reaching... So that means, we have not yet started the journey. Or if we have started the journey, we still don't know that we are on the journey. We are sitting in the train. Think about it. Because very, very important,
Swamiji, you only think about it, Swamiji, and do something for it.
We will, surely we are praying. Surely we are praying for all of us. Not only you, all of us. We are all trying. But He is opening up. He is opening up, no doubt about it.
He is not listening, Swamiji.
He is not. Complain to Him.
He is not listening. We are telling every day,
Every
time.
good. don't think it will go in vain. Never think that petition will go in vain. It will not, it will have its own effect. That we got convinced only by Papa's own analogy. Papa says, if you want to break a stone, you have to keep on hammering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no change. 10, no change.
Mataji
50.
has hammered so many times, sir.
Eh?
She has hammered like
24th.
Mataji has hammered us so many times, but it has not gone in.
We also have to do it.
This hammering will have its own effect, don't worry. Perseveringly, let us all perseveringly.
we hope so, Swamiji.
Sure. He will open up.
Papa will help us.
He will open.
If we are leaving this world,
Yeah.
Papa will help us.
Yeah, we have to keep on. That faith, unshakable faith should be there. You have made us to travel. And the one fine morning you say we are not traveling. And then you make us to feel dispirited, dejected. How can it? You are the savior. You just now said you are the protector. You are the guide. And how can you leave us in between? How can you make us to feel that we are nowhere near you? Whereas even the very grumbling and complaint, even for that, you lend the power. Suddenly you realize, I am complaining of my non-progress because he is there behind it. Even
Power behind that too. He's the power behind that.
That also. Kindly go through the outpourings. Again, we will get more and more clarity about it. To get ourselves concretized on this aspect. So many thoughts will come and go. Even after scaling, even after surrendering so much, still Papa had in his mind the tug of war. And he has placed the tug of war before us, that this will be the nature of the mind. Because it has been trained only to go out. Never to go in. So the problem will be there. We feel we have understood, but we have not understood. In Kenopanishad, that is there. Nahamanye Suved. He says, I do not know that I know it well. Not that I do not know, I know too. First, from the small I level, I do not know that I know it well. But from the level of their awareness, I know too. So they teach us. Even the very complaint, the sense of incompleteness, inadequacies, insufficiencies, everything wells up in our heart only because he is there. So let us try to revisit the whole thing. And trigger our move. We know even behind our very sadhana you are there. Even behind our complaining you are there. Even behind our feeling that we are not moving towards you, you are there. Even on anything that takes you away from you, you give me a feeling, I am not progressing, I am not moving, I am not taking. Now I know that you are there. If you are not there, I cannot complain. I cannot feel that I am not moving towards you. Why don't you make me aware of this reality? This is the internal dialogue we try to dwell as much time as possible and see the result for ourselves. A prayer, intense prayer. He said, it's not a joke. Spiritual life is not a joke. Intense prayer, intense efforts. Intense prayer and efforts with a prayer to him again. You make me to pray, Even the very act of prayer is done because you are there. Just now you said through 4 or 5 stanzas, I am the sustainer, I am the origin, I am the suhrt, I am the guide. So now I understand slowly the sloga. Kindly go through it again and again. Each one will be given some more clarity based upon the experience God has given us so far. We all intensely pray that the day should not be far off when we call it off. That means the seeker and the sought after becomes one. Puja Swamiji used to say, though every now and then he was getting it, the journey, the viraha is not painful, it is joyful. Because there is a difference previously and now. Now our prayer is that we have not been able to keep it up throughout our awakening state. So the small I acts as if it is independent. Suddenly the big eye hides, the big eye suddenly comes out, and the small I becomes aware. Again, after some time, the small I doesn't become aware. So this struggle will be there. So Puja Swamiji has written. So this viraha, this gap, this disconnection, though we feel restless, it is not painful, it is joyful. All these words, when we go through that, with that spirit, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. So may all of us try our level best, with a prayer to him. I exist but for you. That should be clear to me. I am prepared to leave everything, but it should be clear to me. Without you, I don't exist. That particular slogan, it is very, 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 very important. That you are my suhrt. What happened? Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrud Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, which were not known to us till then. And then you are the abode, the shelter, the friend. I am the origin, end, resting place of creation. I am the repository and eternal seed. We have been assured by him that if we pursue this, our journey, so-called, it's not journey, but we can say it's a journey. The journey becomes complete, where the seeker no longer exists. Papa's poem, what is that poem? Milanya Gadi Prabhuji. When the river becomes one with the ocean, the river loses its sense of individuality. So like that, the cosmic self and the individual self is trying to realize its connection with its everything to the cosmic self. And once it becomes, it will be a full. But until such time, the struggle will be there. Apuryamanam ajala pradishtam. Samudra Vapam. Same thing. So let us all try to bring in this, to not to objectify again. Care should be taken to see that we don't get stuck with the sloga, but with all the tools, we try to go within. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, जय जय राम बोल। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओ। 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 सद्गुरुनाथ संस्था। हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम। नमस्कार। प्रणाम प्रणाम। हरि ओम हरि ओम। प्रणाम 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 प्रणाम।